Good morning, my friends, and Happy New Year to you. I pray that you all are doing well, and I'm so happy to know that you are here with me, the beginning of a new year. A new year. Isn't that awesome? I'm so grateful to God that we all are still standing in 2024, and I have some wonderful, wonderful segments in store for you on this year. I hope that you stick with me, and I hope to hear from you more in this new year. Today's segment is a very special segment, and I'm so glad that I'm able to share it with you. So, are you ready? Fantastic. Let's get started with Share the Love. All right, here we go. I'd like to talk to you today about communication. Communication to me is one of the most vital aspects of life, especially in relationships. And when I say that, I don't mean just a male female relationship, I mean the relationship that you have with anyone, your siblings, your parents, with your children, with your co-workers, with your neighbors, whoever you encounter in life. Communication is key. I want to just read to you the definition of communication. To communicate is the successful conveying or sharing of ideas and feelings. Successful conveying. When you successfully let it be known what you're thinking or what you're feeling with whoever you may be interacting with at that particular time. I feel that a lot of the strife and the stress in this world is because people do not communicate. They tend to feel like someone should just know how I feel. Or if they don't like something, instead of voicing your feelings, you let it go until it gets to the point where you cannot stand it anymore. You can't handle it. I believe that communication is so extremely vital that it's something we should work on perfecting every single day. Communication starts at birth. Just the tone of a voice can communicate to you the feelings of someone. That infant, they may be just cooing, and you know that they are happy, or they are crying, and you can tell from the urgency in their voice that they may be in pain. Or there's also a different cry when they're just uncomfortable. They might just need a diaper change. Communication is a conveying of your and sharing of your ideas and feelings. Now, when it comes to the ideas part, whoever you may be interacting with at the time, when you convey your ideas, it is good communication. And I'm not saying that every time that you convey it, it's going to be welcomed or accepted. But it is so very important that we communicate. It is so very important that you let your feelings and your ideas be known. Why? Because you are important and you have a voice. You are relevant, and your ideas and feelings matter. And even if they are not accepted, if they are rebuffed, and they just say, no, that's not going to work, I don't want to hear that, that's not good, that's not for me, that's all well and good. But you will walk away knowing that you exercised your right to express yourself. You communicated. I always look at communication as like a radiator that is filling up with steam, filling up with heat. If that radiator is not bled and it's getting hotter and hotter and it's whistling, after a while that radiator can blow. We all have our own feelings, thoughts, ideas, opinions, viewpoints. And all of these things we should know that we have the right to express. If you never express what it is you're feeling or thinking or your ideas, everything, all of this stuff is building up in you, and it can have a very negative effect. These are just my opinions, my feelings. And I love to just express how I'm feeling. Like I said, when you express yourself, it's not always welcomed. It's not always, received, but you have the right to express yourself. You have the right to share your thoughts, feelings, and ideas. And because we are in a new year, I would like to start this new year off by encouraging you to step out of that comfort zone of feeling like I don't want to add the added stress or drama. So I'm just going to stay over here, and now, just like I've always been, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to keep it to myself. No, we are stepping out of that comfort zone, and we are voicing our thoughts, our ideas, our opinions, because our thoughts, ideas, and opinions matter. You are relevant. And in this new year, in 2024, I am encouraging you to communicate, to open up, and share the love. Now, as I said, communication is key, but there are lots of different types of communicating. The communication that I want to talk about today is talking. Talking. So let me give you, and of course you may say, well, we don't need the definition to talk. I just want to share it, just to get it out there so you can understand where I'm coming from. To talk, it is when you speak in order to give information or express ideas or feelings. To converse or communicate by spoken word. So yes, communication and talk definitely goes hand in hand. However, many people try to communicate without speaking, and it can be done. There are lots of different forms of communication. You can write to communicate. You can signal with your eyes to communicate. And you can just use body language to communicate. Someone can be saying something that you don't agree with and you don't want to open your mouth and speak. You can put your hand up with a motion that says just stop. And you can walk away. That is definitely a form of communication, letting them know, I don't want to hear it, and I'm leaving. And another form of communication is if someone is speaking, you don't want to hear it, and you take two fingers and put in each ear. Plug your ears up. That's letting them know, I don't want to hear it. Okay? And even without moving, you can just use your body language. You can just switch so that you're not facing them, or you turn your back to them. That is another form of communication. Okay? So know that since there are many different forms of communication, I'm talking about the talking form of communication and why it is so important for us to focus on the talking communication. In 2024, it is important for you to speak out, to share your thoughts and your feelings, to share the love. Okay? Now, as we're talking about talking, there are many reasons we talk. We talk to express our feelings and to show our thoughts, whether they are good or bad. Okay? And sometimes you talk to give direction. So there are a lot of people who they call themselves introverts. They don't like to speak, they don't like to talk. But if you never open up and speak and share, we won't know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Of course, some people wear their feelings on their face. You could look at a person's face if someone is saying something, if all of a sudden, their eyes get wide and they look down and they roll their eyes and think, I'm pretty sure they're letting you know that they're not agreeing with what you're saying. But it's important for you, my friend, in 2024 to know that you have the right and you have the privilege of expressing yourself by speaking it out. Some people are good talkers. Some people are fantastic talkers. They inspire when they talk. They motivate when they talk. They encourage when they talk. Okay, so know that there's a lot of people who are con artists. They also manipulate when they talk. There's some people who just discourage you whenever they talk. Whenever they say something, it's to put you down. So there are a lot of different people who talk very differently. Some to uplift, some to tear down. Okay, there's some people who love to destroy you when they talk, to destroy others when they talk, who like to talk about other people to you. So understanding that, knowing that even though we do have the right to speak, make sure you are one of the ones who is using that in the best way. Of course, there are a lot of people in the world we know who they make a living out of defaming, out of criticizing, tearing down others. Those we pray for. But just make sure it's not you, my friend. Make sure you use the gift that God has given you in the best way so that He is pleased with what you're doing. Okay? So now, as we continue on talking about communicating and talking, now I want to talk to you why and tell you why I want to bring this up at this particular point in time. I'm going to be transparent here with you for a few minutes. I am the eldest daughter to my late parents, Mr. and Mrs. William Jones. My mom was born in Mississippi in 1933. She was one of 6 children. She lost her mom when she was 8 years old. So she grew up in the 30s in Mississippi. The family was split up. She was separated from her siblings and she was brought to New Jersey, and she was raised by others in New Jersey. She and my dad got married when she was in her 30s, in her late 20s, I think. And they had 4 children, of which, as I said, I was the eldest daughter. My mom, God bless her, and my dad both left this life in 2004, exactly 3 weeks apart. They had been married for 50 years. My mother was not a very verbal person. There was a lot that she did not share with her children. I don't know if it had to do with her upbringing. I don't know if it was because she wasn't taught that, or that she suffered a lot and chose to keep it to herself. For whatever the reason, my mother was not one to share her feelings and a lot of her personal life's journey, which I'm sure may have included really rough times, but also some very wonderful times. When my mother left this life, I had a lot of questions. My mother was my pastor, and she was one of the most kind-hearted people you could ever want to know. She did not have a lot of associates, but she had a handful of very close friends, and the church members loved her dearly. However, on a mother-daughter relationship level, there are questions upon questions that I have for my mother that I will never know, because my mother never sat down and had the talk with me. And you may say, well, if she never talked to you, how did you know about? Now, I'm not talking about the talk in reference to hygiene, in reference to boys. We had that talk. But the talk of how life can come at you and how you can survive it. Other than what she preached in the pulpit, we never had personal talks that she shared some of her journey, the things that might have made her cry, that helped to strengthen her and toughen her to make her know she had to hold on. These are some of the things that I wondered, what did she encounter and what did she endure that she could tell me to prepare me for what I was going to encounter in my life and in this world. As a result of what I always looked for in my mother, it caused me to talk, communicate constantly with my children. I have 4 children. My eldest is my son, and I have 3 daughters, 2 of which are twins. I talk to my children all the time. I let them know all the time how much I love them. I let them know the different things that I encounter that might make me, feel that, my feelings are hurt, or that makes me feel just uncomfortable. I share with them my feelings so that they can know more about me, so that when I am no longer here, they won't have to wonder. I wonder if mom was ever sad, if she was ever afraid, if she was ever lonely, if she ever felt disappointment. It's important, I believe, to know these things so that if they encounter these feelings, I will be able to let them know, yes, there will be days that no matter how hard you fight, you're going to still be rebuffed. You're still going to be, lied on, ostracized and ridiculed. And I'll tell them some of the different things that I went through. I'll share it with them, and I can say, but look where I am today. Even though this, and this happened, look at me now. These are the things, the topics, the issues that we need to share with our loved ones so that they can know if mom did it, if daddy did it, they survived, then so can I, with the help of God. Now, right now, I would like to share some statistics with you. Since 1999, there have been 392 school shootings in America. Every day, it is part of our culture, and our custom to send our children off to the house of learning where they can acquire education so that they can become educated individual adults, so they can branch out on their own one day. However, there are many negative elements in this world that can cause a parent's heart to become gripped with the greatest fear known to parenthood, to know that there is an active shooter in your child's school, and you rush there and you have to wait agonizingly, second by minute, sometimes by hours, to see if your child is okay. It is the most heart wrenching, painful thing I believe a parent would ever go through. I can remember when the planes flew into the Twin Towers, and I was afraid that we were going to be under attack. Our nation was going to be under attack more in the streets. So I immediately rushed to the school and I withdrew all of my children from school. Those that were still in school, I took them out because I just wanted them to be with me where it was safe. Now, the next thing I want to say is that as of recently, there have been an unprecedented number of earthquakes happening. It's just mind-boggling. Can you imagine if you wake up in the morning, in your mind, you have your day planned out, you're dressing, you're getting ready to leave the house, the children are going to school, and the ground begins to shake, or you're at work and all of a sudden everything around you is moving and you are separated from your children or from your loved ones, or it's at night and everyone is in the bed, and all of a sudden the house is split and things are just falling down all around you and everyone is screaming. And then there's when the tsunamis that come and just wash everything away, and then you have fires and you have war, where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, people are coming around you with ammunition, bullets and bombs and things of that nature, and you are separated from your loved ones, sometimes forever. And then there's poverty, where your life automatically takes a change. You lose your job and you are cast out into the street, and you're separated from your loved ones, and you don't know where to turn, and it seems like no one wants to give you help. And then there's the crime increase, where people are getting mugged, people are getting carjacked, people are just being unalived for no reason. They're stealing from others, and it's like the world is in a state of chaos. It's unprecedented chaos. And then there's domestic violence, where you're in your home, where you're supposed to be safe. This is your sanctuary. And when you lock the door, you feel like all the craziness is out there, but somehow it has made its way into your home and you're not safe. All of these things are very, very unpleasant things that can happen to stop our existence. But the ones that are still here when others are gone, I'm sure when they think of their loved ones that is no longer with them, even though there is that pain and sorrow for losing them, I'm sure they would want to have that reassurance in their heart and in their spirit that at least I know that they loved me, that they cared for me, that they were proud of me. Every child would love to say they know how much, I know how much they love me. They were always telling me how proud they were of me and how happy they were of my accomplishments, and that they just couldn't wait to see me, step out and branch out, and they saw the direction I was moving in. Or that a parent, if their child is suddenly taken from them for whatever reason, and at least I'm sure they would want to have in their mind, I'm so glad I always let them know how proud I was of them. I'm so glad I always shared with them how glad I was with the decisions that they're making. I'm so glad that every opportunity I got, I told them that they were smart, that they were just doing a great job. Have you had the talk with the members of your family or your loved ones? Have you shared with them how much you love them, how proud you are of them, how much you care for them? Because, my dear friend, on this, the 5th day of January 2024, I can assure you, 100% assure you of only one thing. Life is not promised. We do not know when our last day will be in our life. We don't know. And we make acquaintances along the way. I'm pretty sure we have loved ones that we are in contact with. But whoever it is that you have communication with, I'm sure they would love to know. If you are no longer here, they would love to know that you cared for them, that you rooted for them, that you were proud of them. And the same thing, if you suddenly do not wake up tomorrow morning, I'm sure your loved ones, your friends, would want to be able to say, I'm so glad that I shared with them how I felt. And I'm so glad that they told me how they felt. I have a lot of questions that I still want to ask my mom. But my children understand my feelings, the things that I like. They know the things that I don't like. I have had to talk with them, and I constantly talk with them. I let them know if something new has come into their life or they started doing something new. If I think that it's something that's kind of sketchy, I'll say, well, you're an adult, but I'm just saying, I don't think that that's a good thing. So it's okay if you don't agree with something someone does or everything someone does, but have the talk. Share the love. Let your loved ones know how you feel. Sometimes when I'm talking, the children may have that look, oh God, grandma's talking again. But I promise you that when I am no longer here, they will remember my talks. They're going to remember me. They're going to remember how proud I am of them. I have some of the most awesome grandchildren. They are all just wonderful people. Intelligent, college graduates and entrepreneurs working. God has blessed them. They have wonderful relationships with their parents, and do they ever make mistakes? Absolutely. Just like me, I make mistakes. We are human, but I know people of character, and I know that my grandchildren are people of character, and I know that they have been blessed by God, and I let them know with every opportunity that I get. I let them know how proud I am of them. I let them know how much I love them. And my children, listen, even just saying that word, my heart spreads. It just grows, with the love and respect that I have for my children. I've had to talk with them many times. I've shared the love with them many times. And my friend, in this year, 2024, where the temperature of the world has reached almost to popping out of that glass, where the mercury has risen so high and is about to just explode, we know that Jesus is coming back soon. And we don't know when. So I encourage you, my friend, to get your soul right. Be ready when he comes. And share the love. Have the talk. Let your loved ones know how you feel. If it's something that's not happy, then sit down and talk about it and work it out so that you can get the love where it should be. And that's all I have for you today. I do hope that you enjoyed the segment. And if you did, please leave a comment. Please hit that like button. And I would love to see that thumbs up. It would be so encouraging to me. I would appreciate it so much. And share this with someone that you want to have that talk with, to let them know it's time we sat down and had the talk. Let your children know how much you love them. Let your parents know how much you love them. Let your siblings know. It doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80. Share the love. Have the talk. Okay? And make sure that your soul is ready when Jesus comes back. He's soon to come. And I'm going to let you get back to your Friday. And I pray that all is well with you. And until we meet again. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. And until we meet again, may the Lord God bless you real good. Boss Lady out.